First the bad news, then the good news. The bad news is that 4 of the 19 largest banks in America are going to need more than $50 billion in funds together of US federal money, of Treasury money, to bail them out. That's pretty bad news. But the good news is the other 15 largest banks in the United States appear still to be solvent and in sound condition and won't need a fraction of that. These are the results of the stress test that US President Barack Obama and Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner ordered to be carried out on US banks. Now more bad news. Ben Bernanke, chairman of the US Federal Reserve, warns that while the rate of contraction of the US economy and the rate of jobs lost is slowing, it's still contracting, and it's only slowing slowly. For 4 months in a row, the US economy lost more than 650,000 jobs per month, catastrophic rate of attrition and shrinkage. In April, that was down to 630,000 jobs lost. 630,000 is still very bad. But at least the Dow Jones Industrial Average staggered back above the 8,000 mark. And the reaction of US investors, especially for the Standard & Poor's 500 index, to the news about the bailout for the 4 big banks was that stocks actually rose rather than fell on the S&P 500 index. Why? Because investors obviously had expected the news to be far worse than it actually was. The United States is not at rock bottom. It's still sinking, and so are other countries around the world. This is a difficult time we are in, but there appears to be still hope and room for maneuver, and we hope that things will turn around soon. But I don't want to give you too good news too fast. Far too early to do that. I'll tell you this. We are in the age of cliches, the return of the cliche, the revival of the cliche. Cliches are condensed experience and condensed human wisdom. They are repeated so often that they become cliches because there's a lot of truth to them. In financially prosperous, smart aleck times, we don't need those obvious truths. But in difficult times, we have to hang on to them the way you would hang a drowning man or drowning woman would hang on to a boat in the middle of the ocean in a storm. You don't want to let go of what keeps you alive and what keeps you afloat. I'm Martin Sieff for United Press International.